Imagine a world without printing presses. No hard drives. No cloud storage. No digital backups. Now imagine preserving a 600-page book, perfectly, for over 1,400 years. No missing chapters. No revised editions. No editorial committees updating language. And then imagine this. Millions of people today, from children to elders, can recite that book entirely from memory. Word for word. How is that possible? Why is the Quran so preserved? Tonight we investigate not just belief, but history, method, and something far more powerful. The Quran makes a bold statement. It declares that God Himself will protect it from corruption. This is extraordinary. Other scriptures were written decades or centuries after their prophets. Languages evolved. Manuscripts were lost. Versions multiplied. But the Quran entered history differently. It was revealed over 23 years, gradually, to Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. And from the very beginning, it was both recited and memorized. Not stored in a temple. Not hidden in a vault. But carried in hearts. To understand preservation, you must understand Arabia. 7th century Arabia was not a civilization of libraries. It was a civilization of memory. Poets could recite thousands of lines flawlessly. Genealogies were memorized across generations. Oral transmission was cultural power. When the Quran was revealed, it entered a society already trained to memorize. But this was different from poetry. The Quran had rhythm, but also structure, repetition, linguistic patterns, phonetic symmetry. It was designed to be remembered. Within the Prophet's lifetime, hundreds had memorized it entirely. They were known as Hufas, guardians of memorization. Preservation began immediately. Not after his death. Immediately. Years after the Prophet passed away, battles erupted. In one battle alone, many memorizers were killed. A dangerous thought emerged. What if those who memorized the Quran died before it was written into a single collection? This was not theological fear. It was practical concern. Under the first caliph, Abu Bakr, a decision was made. Gather it. Compile it. Preserve it in written form. But not casually. Every verse required 2 witnesses who had heard it directly. Confirmation from written fragments already recorded during the Prophet's lifetime. Verification from memorizers. This was not emotional devotion. It was rigorous verification. Years later, during Caliph Uthman's rule, as Islam spread across regions with different dialects, another risk appeared. Pronunciation variations could create division. So he standardized the official dialect and distributed copies across the empire. Not to change the Quran, but to protect unity. Standardization prevented fragmentation. Today, we don't rely only on tradition. We have manuscripts. Ancient parchments discovered in places like Birmingham. Fragments carbon dated close to the Prophet's lifetime. And here is what shocks historians. The text matches. Letter for letter. Across continents. Across centuries. From Uzbekistan to Istanbul. From Cairo to Indonesia. The Quran today is consistent. Not just in meaning. In wording. This level of textual stability is rare in ancient literature. Extremely rare. But manuscripts are only half the story. The real preservation system is alive. Right now, in almost every country on earth, there are people who have memorized the Quran fully. Children as young as 10. If every printed copy disappeared tonight, by tomorrow, it could be rewritten from memory. This is not exaggeration. This is a global phenomenon. Ink can burn. Paper can decay. But memorized words survive. The Quran is not just preserved in libraries. It is preserved in people. Consider this. A Muslim in Nigeria recites. A Muslim in Japan recites. A Muslim in Bosnia recites. They do not speak the same native language. Yet they recite identical Arabic words. Perfectly aligned. This creates something extraordinary. A synchronized global text. Every Ramadan, millions complete full recitations, publicly. Errors are corrected instantly. Preservation is communal, continuous, self-correcting. You can explain preservation historically. You can explain it culturally. You can explain it methodologically. But there remains a deeper reflection. Why did this system succeed so completely? Why did millions dedicate their lives to memorizing it? For believers, the answer is simple. Because it was meant to be preserved. For historians, the answer is structural. Because preservation was embedded from day one. But for anyone watching, believer or skeptic, the reality remains remarkable. A 7th century text. Unaffected by time. Memorized by millions. Consistent across continents. That alone deserves reflection. If every Quran vanished tonight by sunrise, millions of hearts could rewrite it, word for word. Preservation is not only about paper. It is about people. And perhaps the greater question is not, why is the Quran preserved? But why has it inspired such devotion for 1,400 years? If this video expanded your understanding, continue exploring with us here on Understanding Islam. Because some truths are not loud. They are enduring. And endurance speaks for itself.